or not sure. So let me see whether I'm able to get Mr. Nasralla. We happen to be the president of the Association of Journalists na Sierra Leone. Let me just see whether I will get him. He signed on at 21:18. We just missed him by 2 minutes. So let me just call him now. Hopefully he should pick up. He might have forgotten. He may be a busy man and a busy times in Salone. Let me see. Hopefully we go get him. Yeah. So in the meantime, family, when we don't join, there are 20 some more of us. Please share, let the number multiply. Okay? Mr. Nasralla? Oh, now you try for join. Okay, no worries at all, sir. Okay, many thanks, sir. Yeah. Oh, you didn't make it. You see, now that's having the same family. Okay, no worries at all. Many thanks, sir. Yeah, bye-bye. So, Unayerian for Unasef, the president of SLAJ, now very, very busy man as we speak right now. I don't go McKinney and therefore go through extra kind of ways just for make sure say he join this program here tonight. So why would they try to forget our we just want to come to family and I will tell their anniversary they come. Suddenly I get a call, an anonymous caller just called me. We go pick £2,000. £2,000. Now in this anonymous caller go give me the deal in our platform. I'm not missing my words. I don't know whether it go like that, but everything else remain anonymous. He called me, everything remain anonymous. He say, come over. I go see, don't talk with him. We do like what you are doing. No conditions attached. Keep doing it. I know say there are financial constraints in that kind of thing that way you do because I've been watching you for a while. And £2,000 for we birthday celebration. Thank you so much. Uda ever donated because you say they watch we and you probably they watch we tonight. Thank you for this £2,000. It shall be used for the cause which you asked for. Thank you so much. Okay, so we wait for Mr. Nasralla for come on, and then we'll go kick off with the program. Famule unala we shape. So whilst we wait again, we just hold few elections, by-elections in the country, a test of nascent democracy. We should be thankful that the elections here, unlike previous elections, went without real major issues. So we go do the evaluation and the appraisal and buckle up, learn who will make mistake, who will not make mistake, and move on. Okay, learn from the process. But this election, especially constituency 110, personally on this platform, I dedicate them to the people, the gallant people of the Republic of Sierra Leone. I congratulate the government of the Republic of Sierra Leone for making it possible for this to happen. The security forces will conduct themselves properly. The Electoral Commission will also do what they're supposed to do for make sure say everything happens smoothly. And let me not forget the Bobo, we've been there at the center of this election when the Lily Bobo Ibrahim, who almost lost his life, and then tried to make him again an issue by this election, begin to push him around for a few, pounds or dollars or leons. That was ugly. But luckily the election is over, and we need to pick up the pieces and move on. Congratulate the winners, congratulate the losers for their conduct, and then maybe learn from the process. So I think, say, we get Mr. Nasralla on the program now as I speak Fambulem. And I'm very, very pleased to have Mr. Nasralla on the program here tonight. And also, I want to say that we get few organizers then. But I want to follow we build the momentum, please. We are 40-something on the platform. If we share them times 2 times 3, we don't go over the number 100 because this is important. Umaru Fofana, the BBC stringline fighter, are you with him or against him? And Naim we about for dwell into. So I will disagree with the election. Somebody disagree. We'll go cancel that anyway, of course. Not everybody, we disagree for agree. So we get Mr. Nasralla on the program. So I think I need to go straight into the program right now as I speak. Fambulem, welcome to the program. And if you're supposed to participate, there will be no use for you mute your microphone at this time because we will expect a response if I do ask questions. Okay. So Mr. Nasralla is on the program, who is the president of SLAJ, the Sierra Leonean Association of Journalists. He's here tonight. We also get protest organizers them, and we get Mr. Munu, we're an activist and was part of the protest, and we'll go ask the question shortly. We also get other protesters then with day, but I try for establish audio contact. I'm not getting it from them. Again, their audios are muted. That does not mean that they are not hearing us. So, ladies and gentlemen, we need to move on. I think we don't spend enough time in this introduction. So, here we go, Famulem. Here and here we go. Okay? And when I say here we go, I want to let Famulem understand, say, in the field of journalism, there is a lot of things that we don't happen. Ahmed Sahid Nasralla is trying to come back. Okay, no worries at all. Yeah. There's a lot of things we don't happen in the field of journalism. And are there things that they now want to talk about tonight? Let me see who else wants to come. Somebody is just trying to come in again. Still people when they come in, I make a delay and belabor on the talk. Dear unalewi shebam. Yeah. Dear unalewi shebam. So there's a lot of things don't happen in this particular field where we say we want to talk about tonight. Okay. And this is it. Here's the point. You know, Fambulen, some time ago, not in the distant past, but in the recent time, journalism, as we sabiam, now a profession, when a noble profession, where once upon a time was thought or considered by many people, many people, as being the defender of freedom. The people that we go stand by the voice of the voiceless. We will take on the powerful, the affluent in our society in behalf of the one them we're not in that position for challenge, because remember, you get the powerful them. They also been used them platform for expose corruption in our government. And they talk about massive big corruption. Government, private entities, private corporations. That's what journalists they used for stand for some time ago. And they used for be generally standing for the good of the public. But Famulem, here is the case. This is not the case anymore. And this is my submission here tonight before I go into the program. It's not the case anymore. So we did in a position where we try for look at possibly how journalists they can conduct themselves. In between, waiting on can happen now is we get something what we call social media. We don't knock off that middleman. We make mainstream media not too very, very relevant. But the idea is they are in competition with private stream media, in other words, social media, because at the click of a button, people like me and thousands of others of people like me can change the narrative, can change, the position where mainstream media they try for take. So we asked the question here today, so we guessed them. And Fambulela remind you now, we get few guests on the platform. We get Mr. Ahmed Sahid Nasralla, President of SLAJ. Mr. Nasralla, welcome to the program, sir, if you hear me.
Yes, thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, sir. And thank you for the constraint as well, because I understand you're not in your comfort zone at your home. You're all the way back in USA, you travel apparently for some business issues. But thank you so much for taking the time for joining the platform. We also get Mr. Al-Issa Munu. We happen to be a community activist. We can promote that kind of thing there when it comes to social justice issues. Mr. Al-Munu, Issa Munu, you want to touch small about yourself, a little bit of introduction, because maybe I not get them right.
Okay. Me fambule, you know the hear me?
Loud and clear, sir. The world day.
Okay. Me fambule them. Good evening. Thank you very much for having me. There you go. Pardon me for letting mix up the Lingua Franca between the local dialect understanding, because
we appreciate that, because we get foreign people that will listen to us.
Yes, exactly.
This is exactly what we want.
Me family na Sierra Leone, me family na the diaspora. Me na Alisa Munu, me na 100% activist. I done in England for over 40 years. The very first demonstration where I encounter na England in 1980, and this now against Sheikh Stevens, the president of Sierra Leone at that particular time. And the person will be organized that demonstration there in 1980, na Ambrose Ganda, blessed memory, you understand? At the first demonstration that they were encounter. The second demonstration where I encounter, where I feel say anybody would ever seek for a political asylum na England, for be very grateful. Now the immigration and asylum bill, where we demonstrate inside, when I say inside, now the foyer of House of Commons and the House of Lords, because they're just adjacent. You understand? Since then, I don't involved with the Cardiff 4, the Birmingham 6, so you name it. So many other institutions. I mean, at the first Sierra Leonean interpreter, we interpret for people way they can't seek asylum, seek another country. So I can go on and on, but I know I'm bored
on and on.
Yes, but very important. What's making important? Let you allow me, because don't try for tarnish people like us, because people don't know us. You understand?
Okay, we will come to that, Mr. Munu. The issue here tonight is not about on smearing the smear, if you will like. That's a good title. But obviously, I will give you time here for explaining yourself. But because we did beyond time, I want to go on to another sister a sister who is very much socially active. When I say socially active, in terms of social justice, there are things that way he keep very close to his heart, and he can try for championing causes in there. And this particular issue here tonight, what we talk about, now issue where we don't start some time ago. I think she feels really aggrieved, with some of these issues them in terms of the way how the journalists been presenting story them, that she decided to take action on that front. So on this basis, before I talk with you, I don't really understand, but the Liliwa understands in the champion and the face of this campaign, I believe. Can I use this opportunity for bring Sister Miata Bahinga, where AKA we call Sweet Bonita Sweet. Sister Bahinga, if you hear me, you go one coming quickly and maybe tell Fambul and Lily bit about your position.
Okay, well, good evening, everyone. Sorry, I'm not too fluent in Creole, so I guess I'll try to speak English.
Brilliant.
So, Nina Mia Bahinga, aka Sweet Bonita, that's my stage name. And literally, as you said, I have been on this issue regarding the biasness of Umaru Fofana, and to the point I have the help and support of Concerned Sierra Leoneans, which helped me make the protest outside the BBC on the 8th of December 2020. And I'm a bit surprised I have seen the present president of SLAJ to literally in defense of Umaru Fofana. I have nothing personal against him. When I started the campaign, people said so many bad things about me, but that does not stop me, because I know when people don't want you to go forward on things, they will bring some of informations that are not true or just to smear your name. For me, I said that was not going to put me down. And the COVID came, it put us back. And to be honest, I am happy where we are today. For instance, only because I was informed by Chief Tonka to come on the show, because I've been advised not to, because this is a complaint and it's an investigation going on. So I don't really want to say on things which are under investigation. As a president of SLAJ will know, these are something I'm not supposed to participate, but because they've given my word to you that I will be here, this is the reason why I'm going to be here with you. But this will be my last response on this issue until the case is closed with the BBC, because I will not want to spoil my own case. Absolutely not. I will not want to.
Okay, Madam Bahinga, let me use this very public platform for say thank you so much to both you and Chief Tonkla. We give the guarantees that you will come to the show. And I equally understand, I'm not a lawyer myself, but I can understand, need for compromise case when case is being listened to. But equally, that doesn't mean that people are not going to appear, but they just need to be careful in terms of what they're going to be saying and how they're saying what they're saying. And I will try not to go that way there. If I do ask a question, of course, you reserve the opinion for either answer the question or you wouldn't answer it at all. But I will try not to even go in that direction as the case is under investigations right now, if you will like. So, okay, Fambulem, like I've been saying, the numbers are increasing, 70-something. Let's multiply that number in the next 30 seconds, 1 minute, okay? The flash president, I want to go to you directly with my first question, sir. I want you to tell me basically, because this is not a basic question, but there's a reason why they ask them. What in a journalism, what should be the expectations of journalism?
Thank you very much. I just also send out a shout out to the two other panelists that will be with me on this show for tonight, Sweet Bonita and Alasamunu. I'm happy for they with now on this program and for this particular issue. Journalism na a profession. Well, basically now una they gather the news, write them, package them together, and disseminate them to the public. Now we are the center between the government, the middleman between the government and the people, public officials and the people. Now we provide information to the people on what in government they do. Then we take them back, the responses from the feedback from the people, we take them back to the government. So now we make sure say society stay informed about what in they happen in the different communities, in governance, and make sure say the people understand them. And now responsibility for also make sure say we break them down into the language and what the ordinary person they understand. So in a very simple term, now the issue of journalism.
Okay, many thanks, sir, for that succinct definition of the journalism. Brad Munu, I want to go to you because Sister Bahinga says something. We just catch my mind. We talk about teaming up, here with a group of concerned Sierra Leoneans. For the benefit of the general public, will you elucidate within our concerned Sierra Leoneans? Who are they? What do they represent?
Thank you very much, my colleague panelists, them, and my people in Sierra Leone. We people, me in particular, I'm one of the oldest among the lot. Me a posse that we don't spend with time, the majority of us, for express concerns. First, the concerns that we will get, even we stay in England, like police brutality, death in custody, you name it, any issue where concern about the tenants and residents of especially the people of Sodok, because Nada don't they all my life over 40 years. So we come together. Previously, me in particular, I've been involved more with the politics of this country. But what it can happen, I don't involve with so many other demonstrations, the NPRC, all these other things. But what it can happen, we were very enthusiastic after when things then change in Sierra Leone. So we'll be the monitor things them. Other people will be the monitor things them. And then we realize say things they know they go right. And the people of Sierra Leone, they are helpless. Nobody not in that country, we're ready for sacrifice for the life of the people of Sierra Leone. And because of that, some of us say, no, we can't sit down idle and allow things that they go on. So many things, I can give you a long list. We have volunteers who not take instruction from nobody, you understand? And we're very, very determined for say, this now we own contribution to people of that country. Like for instance, we don't do that for over 40 years. I don't involve in so many political things them. I want to pay back to my country of origin. And we find out, say, the people of Sierra Leone, they're helpless. Nobody. And I can give you very few examples. Since the 4th of April, 2018, to date, this government, present government will get, then they abuse human rights, then they arrest people, then they intimidate people, then they kill people, you understand? And we get the journalist, where as my colleague say Nasralla just mentioned, there were not for be we vocal piper, understand, for speak on behalf of the people, like even including the government. If the government then do good things, then they have a duty and responsibility for saying these things. But what has happened since the 4th of April, it appears that this government, they bastardized the constitution. I can give you one case where 30 days in the morning, all the cases.
Okay, I go get for pause you. I go get for pause you, and you get for forgive me because you seem for the flow in your element, and I get for break there. But I will come to that. Definitely, I will let you address that, Mr. Manu. So I want to go to Sister Miata Bahinga, and Sister Miata I want to repeat me. If you're not comfortable with any question I want to ask you, you don't have to answer it at all. So I go straight into this. You've been the face of this campaign, and this is not your first attempt. And as something, in your opinion, we hold strongly and very close to your heart, which is issues of social justice, which is issues, that appear for big concern for you people and your country. What is it about Umaru Fofana that you find so strongly opposed to that you therefore try to take the campaign and say that what they do is not right?
Okay, well, what happened? It's like when I contacted somebody within the BBC, I said, oh, these situations or these issues are going on in the country. And they're like, we haven't received a report of such in the country. I'm like, are you for real? They're like, yes, it's true. I said, what do you mean? Do you have any representative? They're like, yeah, we have somebody called by Umaru Fofana. I said, does it work for you? They said, yes. I said, okay. But like the day I made a complaint, he wasn't in the country, which I will not hold against him. But as a journalist, if you're out of the country, you have people that work for you or will report stuff to you. I don't live in Sierra Leone. I'm not a journalist. But how am I so privileged or having the opportunity to have access to this information, which I don't get paid for? I'm just a patriotic citizen. So for me, I was like, okay, he's not there. So maybe this is the reason why he hasn't reported yet. Even on his return, what he said was something that I said to myself, is this man for real? Is this the sort of report you will give on this particular issue? For me, I said, no, this was wrong. This is absolutely wrong. It is unacceptable because
on which particular issue, Miata? Which particular issue are you referring to? Because
okay, well, for example, I can take the Pademba Road issue.
Okay.
You understand?
Yeah.
To me, I think people or a government's responsibility is to save life and properties.
Of course,
and if
absolutely.
Lives are being destroyed without anybody taking responsibility, for me, I think that's unacceptable. And we all talk about human rights. It doesn't mean because somebody is in prison, they don't have a right to leave. And we've all seen there have been different people going there making videos saying the conditions that people live in, first of all, is unacceptable. And then with the issue, the massacre that took place there, for me, I was like, well, this is totally wrong. And we've all saw the stories, the different stories, version of it, what happened, people that were not supposed to even talk about it, were explaining to us from what time everything started. I said, okay, this is a conspiracy, because if people of such are being part of this, and you that's supposed to report says you did not see, did not hear, then something is wrong somewhere.
Okay. Obviously, you are supposed to conduct the report. If you are not reporting on this, there's something is wrong somewhere. That's what I picked up from the sister. So I want to take this, here to the / president, because now big man, now we get here. So tonight we're responsible for the Association of Journalists. So this is not a small, a small man, in any sense or respect of the word. So Brother Nasralla, you are waiting the sister say, and by the way, those of you who just joined, the person we just speak earlier on is Sister Bahinga. And her nickname or social media name is Sweet Bonitas, which has got a major program on social media. And the question I ask him is, what is this thing about she and Umaru Fofana in terms of social justice? Because now things that we take very close. And that's what she was trying to explain. And she said, Pademba Road, for example, and the way it was reported. So I want to take this talk to the / president, because obviously there are issues between the two, which is / and the organizers of this protest against Umaru, because / came in defense of Umaru Fofana. So the first thing for Mr. Nasralla is about selective reporting. And I want to ask you correctly, in this sense, because again, many other questions for you while they expect you to address today. So journalists, they can decide for choose selective reporting so that they can be held accountable for waiting in the report. Is this the case? And if this is the case, is there something that can be done differently or something different about the way how they can go about selectively reporting just for paper over the crack?
Thank you very much. I don't understand what you mean by selective. I really don't understand what you mean by selective reporting.
Okay, make I explain. Let us give. Okay, thank you.
What we have in the media is the gatekeeping function. The gatekeeping function. That is you, the editor, or you, the station manager, you, the head of the newsroom. You decide what you want to report. There are so many things happening around, so many issues happening around. But the judgment for you, for what goes out in your TV or your radio station, on the newspaper, entirely lies on you, the editor, or the station manager, or the TV station person. That's the gatekeeping function. So now, with the issue of Umaru Fofana, we put this conversation into context. Let's put it into context. Umaru works for the BBC. The BBC receives his report, and before they put out his report, it goes through a number of checks. It goes through a number of checks before they put it out. The BBC is a well-established institution. There is no way Umaru Fofana will report a one-sided story on BBC, the BBC ERM. It's not possible. It must meet the standard. It must meet the standards that the BBC. And the BBC not to, most of the things they happen in today, even though before we say the journalists in here. So I don't even understand why. I don't even understand why this come up from say Umaru would report one side, you know, report this year, you know, report that, you know, report that thing. He works for an institution.
So Mr. Nasralla, I go get for pause you there, because again, while you not develop the story very well yet, well, you seem to go straight into the defense of Mr. Fofana. But let's talk about this. I
put that into context.
I will yield the floor back to. I will yield the floor back to you, sir. I will yield them back to you, because the way how you put them, the idea is, we in the journalism business can talk, say we get maybe 3 or at most 5 principles where we for honor. And that does not make us, you know, you're like clean. And wait till they talk today, we try for speak truth to power, because normally we not go one for good away. So you go and talk about the issue of humanity in the first place, in which a journalist is supposed to conduct himself on the basis of humanity, sir. And you go on also talk about the basis of accountability, which a journalist will expect for conduct themselves on the basis of accountability. Now, there are 3 other principles where I will cite during the conversation on this particular program. But I will pause here for now, and not pause in the sense that I want to talk about the accountability and the issue of humanity. And you ask the question, how possible it is when you make a report, you get for go through stages. In other words, other people they get for edit them, especially with a big organization like the BBC. So Umaru cannot just make a program and just send a day. So definitely. Are you, but are you implying and insinuating, owing to the fact, or maybe you don't agree, that we as people and we self get with your bias system, and then biases then can weigh inside a story where you descend?
Yes, definitely. First of all, you know a human being. We all are human beings, and we infallible. Definitely. And the concept of objectivity apply with the applier, but we need to get 100%, because definitely we all come out from different backgrounds, different orientations, and different things they will motivate we. So then all they tell for what we do. Sometimes they show small you see, and the small if you follow the person in publications, in reporting, in style, definitely it shows small. But the effort will they make, will the guide with profession, and for make sure say you aspire for be very objective. That is to say, you not take sides, you get all the sides of the story, and you make sure say you stand with the people, the ordinary people, because now they depend on you for like give them voice. Things they will say why they affect them. And we they do in a very responsible manner. Not for cause, not for attack, now for bring down the issues and let the public self see them back and then make the judgment. That's the issue. Objectivity will not get 100%, but we're supposed to have a plan for work, for be fair and for be transparent and for be accountable for every publication we will make. We make sure say you go through the tenets that we don't train for be a journalist, you go through everyone and they satisfy the all and make sure say before you put it out. But these are changing times, these are different times then. Everybody, different profession, journalistic profession, you get everybody they can say all man like other profession, they get people over time when they come and things they change and the media they change. So definitely everybody getting aspiration. You know, somebody they can in profession, you get your own motivation, you get your aspiration. Somebody they come, you want to be professionally for attract to politics. Somebody they can doesn't want to be a professional for let practice, let you get credibility, get integrity. So everybody gets the motivation where they can inside. And you need to get the controller. We're not getting the controlling things than they. We are just an association of membership. And we get large code of ethics where they govern we and where they guide we and where they show you if you follow this route, then you become a credible journalist, the public will respect you and you will stand out, you will be a professional. If you not follow that path, then you will lack credibility, integrity, and the public will trust you. So those are the issues.
Okay.
Without commenting on Umaru Fofana in case it.
Yeah, we go come to that. There's a lot to be discussed on that just before we end the program. But what I take from the president of SLAJ is, of course, aspirations is different from the practical reality on the ground. In other words, the aspirations is like, for example, you get to be aware of the consequences, of your reporting, or you broadcast, or what you publish. You get responsibility, and this is what the views the way the president of SLAJ they try for espouse, so they can do their best. And not mean say you not can get people and way they veer away from that particular cause, which is at the center of the discussion here tonight. So I'll take this again back to Monu, and this issue we're gonna get with Concerned Sierra Leoneans, then get with Umaru Fofana. Do we understand that Umaru Fofana gets an obligation, and just like the SLAJ president say, that obligation the way he gets some check and balance system where not they stop the bias the way he gets, but they can be limited as a consequence of that. Waiting, especially you, because Mr. Bahinga don't talk about something, your way in, look at way, motivate them, here for jump into this. Waiting, particularly you from the Concerned Sierra Leonean movement, get against Umaru. And not forget, and the reason why I ask this is because the journalist as a professional, just like the SLAJ president say, should be or is always aware of the consequences about in broadcast and in publishing. In other words, it can't publish pictures which are very extreme. It can't say things which are very extreme. There's a fine balance there which it get for observe. And that might not go down well with another person because they will let and show who side and choke somebody and interest or intestines are spilling out, but he cannot do that. What is this real problem with this guy?
Okay, well, as I've been say earlier on, we now the people of Sierra Leone now they would represent, because the SLAJ president and the organization, civil societies there, they are not defending the people of Sierra Leone. And therefore, we Concerned Sierra Leoneans, we are taxpayers of this country. Umaru Fofana has every right to do whatever he like, you understand, in line within contract.
So, Mr. Mono, I will get for pause you there, because the reason why I pause you there, because in between developing your story where you want to give me for let me understand as to the position you there, you've made an accusation directly at the Sierra Leone Association of Journalists, in which the president is very present here. So yes, when you say they're not fair on the do the bidding of the Sierra Leone and them, sorry, we get a caller. Let me hear wait till this caller and say, please. We'll come back to that whole thoughts right there. Hello, caller. You want to make a contribution?
Yes, please.
Okay. So we get with first caller and Fambulem. I know say all man glued to them waiting self now. The comments day 99, and it's very serious. But we'll get with first caller and when I feel free for call, I go pause and take calls and arrangements that they will be get. So caller, please identify yourself. Who are you call from? And what are your contribution, please?
Yes, I am Janet Mazamusa. I'm in the UK, and my contribution regarding the situation with Umaru Fofana and the Concerned Sierra Leoneans. While I haven't studied journalism myself and haven't practiced journalism, what I want to say here is that when this large president they talk, people are not afraid where they attack him. But what he's saying there is quite right, because the point of reporting here, when he asks the question, when he say, I don't understand the selective reporting, not me to say they don't understand them all. He's just asking, how did it come about this conclusion? Because when you report, anything you report, you got to select what you reported. You want to know whether you're authentic. Because you're talking about credibility, because you're online. If you go report anything, we're not correct. Because when you go back to Umaru Fofana in statement, Umaru Fofana has a personal statement that he has put out. Umaru Fofana say there are two reasons why enable reports on these contentious issues that people are not raised up. It's about having correct information. You gotta go put something out where you don't get correct information. You don't want to assume. We're not into the business of assumptions. We're not into that. We are into the business of a certainty. Information for correct. Information for correct. And if I check them, we decide. Say for example, what happened in McCain or what happened in the briefing in Freetown. Umaru Fofana was never there. But any information Umaru Fofana is going to put out, it's going to be relying on sources. And what do we get as ordinary people on the outside? We get conflicting sources, conflicting information, from different sources there. So you could imagine what Umaru Fofana got no face by saying, you know what, this is what the government has said. This is what ordinary people or prisoners have said. This is what onlookers have said. And to create a balance there, if you can't report what the government say, they go say that what he was one-sided, and therefore Umaru Fofana has looked at the whole information. He knows he not get the correct information. He will not put himself out there and say that so the Minister of Information say. Yes, he could quote the Minister of Information, but what if the Minister of Information wasn't given the correct picture? So Umaru Fofana has been in this business for a long time. I am not saying the Concerned Sierra Leoneans are not the right for this issue with the BBC. I would have expected them to have written to him, to Umaru Fofana, and said to Umaru Fofana, this is the concern we have. You know the reports the way we want or issues that we're going in the country. Have you refused to respond to them? Then they don't go to BBC. But I think they skipped that process and went straight to the BBC. From women in England, when they look at, we are saying to ourselves, is this report party related or is this a national interest issue? So that's the question I'm asking. Is it a national interest issue or is it party related? Is it because Concerned Sierra Leoneans, are they APC members? They're not happy with what Umaru Fofana has failed to report? Is this because if it is national interest issue, I will agree with them. Say, okay, well, let's get Umaru Fofana. Let's write to him. Then we arrange the response. If he fails for response, we take another step. I don't know whether they did that, Prince. I would be happy if you ask Madam whether this process, they may follow this process of writing to Umaru Fofana, whether he failed to reply, and then they went to the BBC. Because Umaru Fofana works on the BBC. Anything Umaru Fofana is sent to the BBC, it is not Umaru Fofana who's going to be held accountable. It is BBC. If they want to sue anybody, that BBC they will sue Umaru Fofana. Let us get the legal aspects out of the way quickly. So if I were Umaru Fofana, I am not sure about figures. I'm not sure about certain issues. I'd rather not report. Thank you very much for having me. Okay,
many thanks for your contribution, sister. Many thanks. Do appreciate you very much. Mr. Monu, I know say there was something we're going to talk about, shortly before we get the call. But you hear the sister clearly, did you, sir?
Well, yes, in fact, I want
to deal with that, yeah?
Yes, if I know three things. Three things. Selective journalism. Okay. I can give you an example. In terms, again, we concern where issue with Umaru Fofana and we have issue with the president of SLAJ vis-a-vis the organization. Let me share my own knowledge as an activist. Now, when I talk about selective journalism, I can give you one example. The Pademba Road prison attack, for proof to you say very selective. When Umaru Fofana reported, he mentioned at that particular report, he said that 3 people in the night and then kill. Now, if you not be selective, when the Minister of Information came, Mr. Soare, he said about 38. Now, if you not be selective, he should have come back and rectify for say, oh, no, he caught the minister. And let me remind my sister there. Now, investigative journalism, you understand it, a focus on Africa, not just information, you understand it. Then one example, like you against for showing another example was Umaru Fofana, very selective. The death of Khadija. I was involved in that demonstration as well. Now, I can bet you he never mentioned or report about that. Now, nobody within common sense could tell you, say, Khadija in Taiwan, you understand it, all right? All over the world. Why did he not report about it? Make a follow-up, you understand? Because I personally was involved and we dealt with the family. Then another example of a selective reporting, and I can give you a long list of so many of them, you understand? So, and the other issue where we sister mentioned, what in they get for land in Sierra Leone for try for the pass the buck. Where you complain, you belong to APC. Where you understand, the way you not complain, you not belong to nowhere. You understand?
Okay,
you not complain.
okay, Bamunu,
no, that point is very important because what you do.
Okay, go on, please, go on.
Yes, you see, it's fine for let people know others there. Me, if my sister, want for know me resume, you understand it? Anybody in this world gets a political preference. Nobody, even an independent person, they get a political preference. But the one thing where they are in Sierra Leone, things then they go wrong. I can give you, I have got nothing against the government, believe you me. I've got nothing against Umaru, I've got nothing against Ahmed or the organization. What I have against with people keeping quiet when things are going wrong. And believe you me, if that is the case, somebody must stand up. And as we go along, I will specifically give examples. I have questions for Ahmed, you understand, for the benefits of the people who they listen. So therefore, let us sit able to understand, say, we Concerned Sierra Leoneans there, we are not directed by any political party. And in fact, what a lot of people don't realize, Concerned Sierra Leone, when it started originally, it's a coalition of APC, SLPP, NGC, sympathizers, friends, and everybody. And that's what a lot of people don't realize. Some people come there, they cover their faces, they make contributions, you understand, all right? They do. So this labeling say we belong to a political, it's irrelevant. What people should attack us or defend the issues. What are the issues happening in Sierra Leone today? Violation of human rights, intimidation, bullying, arrest, killing. That's what the issues were. Now, if these issues were wrong, let people defend those issues rather than attack the individuals. I've got no problem for anybody to attack me. Because first and foremost, I'm very lucky. I tell God thank you, I didn't a free country. If I
we'll get to that on the issue.
Okay, you understand? So let's very be careful for beginning to label people. The people of Sierra Leone, listen, please let me just say this. I don't have no reason to demonstrate. I am peaceful. I'm a pensioner. Peacefully, I get the minimum where they live. I don't need a position.
Mr. Munu, let's leave the personal side to this for
no,
at
but
least
it's important. Our integrity, let me tell you. Now, the reason why our integrity has been attacked by people who are doing nothing.
Yeah, but I'm going to come to that. I'm going to come to that. I'm going to come to that.
Therefore, very important. Let people are able to understand. You understand it? We are not politicians. We are activists. I've just if you allow me, I give me resume. You understand? You understand? There are people who go for the first time they know that there are people who are making sacrifice. You understand? I don't want any position.
Mr. Manu, okay, Mr. Manu. For the benefit of time, I have to cut in now. We have to give equal. We have to give equal chance, here to everybody. Let me go to Sister Bahinga. Sister Bahinga, one of the principles of journalism is something known as independence. In other words, you take responsibility, and I think the / president mentioned that earlier. But I want to put it in a different context, which is the work that you do, what you publish, what you broadcast is all yours. And the bottom line of independence in journalism is you are not doing it in behalf of anybody, not the government, nor private corporations, nor powerful individuals. Instead, you are just being completely independent, which is the principle of impartiality. And the man we go up against now, the company or the organization we work for, one of the strong basic principles is that of impartiality. The BBC does talk about that all the time, and I saw them one for them and they see them. So in terms of the Umaru Fofana issue against Sister Bahinga, waiting, I just talk about the principles of independence. Do you see it otherwise? Do you think that is not independent, that is somehow kind of attached and is to read the way they write or publish? Are they biased? Sister Bahinga, are you there? Okay, I think we've lost her. Fambule, una de hear me? Bamunu, you hear me? Okay, I think we've lost audio. No one seems to be responding. No one seems to be responding.
Yes, make your meeting mic. Make your meeting mic.
Okay, Sister Bahinga, you hear me? Okay.
I was hearing you.
Okay, so you got the question, yeah?
Yes, I did.
Yeah, please respond. Thank you very much.
I said the simple answer to that is yes. But also the lady was asking if we've been in contact with Umaru Fofana. When this thing started, it was in February. One thing I do, I go live. I make videos. I don't do audios because so that people knows the person that is doing what they are doing. I take full responsibility of my actions, my words. So I do not hide behind my voice or anything. Umaru Fofana did get in contact. He explained his bit. First of all, the excuse he was giving was, oh, I'm a freelance. I don't have a responsibility to do X, Y, and Z. In fact, it's what I report that I get paid for. I'm like, excuse me? Are you sure you're working for the BBC?
Sorry, Sister Bahinga, for the benefit of the general public, you are saying that you got into contact with him and you asked these questions and these were the reply that he gave you.
Yes.
Okay.
Well, it was him it was the other way around. So for me, one thing I noticed, and also, when this thing happened, you also have other people coming, oh, it's a freelance, he's not supposed to do this, he's not supposed to do that. One thing people don't follow on journalists or people that do things, Umaru Fofana, this is not his first time of reporting biasness. It's not the second time. It's not even the third time. That's why when we started, I said to you, this particular issue is under investigation. There are certain comments I will not want to make because I will be spoiling my own case. And for the viewers and everybody that has made report before to BBC, if anyone is listening to this print, they can tell you from the 9th of December to the 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, everybody has received a reply. Complaints people have been making from the beginning of this year that BBC has not even acknowledged the letters after the 8th. Because people also made comments, oh, it's just few people, they are not even going to listen to them, they are not going to do this, they are not going to do that. I knew why we were waiting just to see if there will be a change. For me, Umar is like a brother because we're all Sierra Leoneans. But if our brother is not doing the right thing, I don't hide you. I'm a Southeasterner. I like to stand for the truth. If you have been given the opportunity to change and you have completely refused to change, you don't hold me in captive that I have to protect you for too long. I'm not doing it. People are being killed every day. They are not my brothers, they are not my sisters. But I have a humanitarian feeling. I was in Sierra Leone during the 10 years war. I saw what happened to people. I have lost relatives due to natural death. I am not happy. Neither seen somebody being massacred without no explanation. It's like, it's good. It's the order of the day. That is unacceptable. And also, the president of SLAG is saying, oh, there's somebody that audited, there's the person that does this. What Umaru Fofana does when it gets here, nobody is going to come round to say, okay, let's verify this, if this has been right or this has not been right. Like, he doesn't send the videos, he doesn't send. We have seen graphic on the TV in the UK. If it's within the time our kids are watching, they block it. When it's not the time, it's being watched. Kids watch literally everything. That is not an excuse. You ain't talking to kids. You're talking to adult people that have sense. So don't use that. Say, oh, because the images are graphic, that's one of the reasons he has refused to talk about it. Okay, don't show it, but at least explain. You can explain in words what you have seen. I'm sure everybody can literally understand what you're trying to refer to. So that is not an excuse, absolutely.
Okay, okay. So let me take this to the president of SLAG. And Mr. Nasralla, I mean, they try to outline the basic principles of journalism, which you understand very well, and I could be a student of yours. So I will still try to deal with principle number one, where now that of independence. So Mr. Umaru Fofana, take responsibility for what he publish. In other words, there are guidelines, what they publish, what they say, what they broadcast. They get responsibility for that. And we are waiting the other guests and not say, including the last caller. So on this principle, you know, of independence, brother, or if one call them the principle of impartiality, because I can like for put both of them together. So Brother Umaru get a responsibility, and I'm not saying nobody should mistake me here. I'm not saying it's just a question. I'm not saying that he did not act responsibly. I'm just saying he bears the responsibility of the story that he produces, just like the SLAG president say, so that there is no one-sided view of the story, because all story get two sides. All story then get two sides, and this is where the biasness, you know, you kind of come in. And I'm not accusing Umaru, by the way. I'm just explaining this story about how the biasness can come in. So you get two sides to the story, and in the middle lies the truth. So you get an obligation as a journalist for being responsible for looking for the other side of the story and getting other people's opinion. And it seems like the complaint here today or then is one of where other people, you know, you can accuse them of being the other, and that make us say there are two sides to the story. People where they complain, people who will never be satisfied or not see the way I can go. So the accusation by Sahid, is it fair on Umaru that somebody not satisfied with the way how he carry the report, even though the report might look impartial and independent, but somebody not responsible? What thing are you take on this one again in terms of Brother Umaru, because you've come out and defended the brother, so we want to understand this mindset.
Thank you very much. Before I go to that, Lara just mentioned it that my brothers and sisters, they say, then they speak on behalf of Sierra Leoneans. Then.
Yeah.
Okay. The people who they defend Umaru Fofana on social media all over the place now. Na Liberians, na people from Liberia.
No, they are not. They are Sierra Leoneans. That's what I was talking about, the split story, you know, yeah, between X and Y.
Okay. So, Mr. Munu say you get plenty of questions for asking me today, and I want for the.
Yes, I do.
Yes, I will give that chance there for question and answer.
I will.
Mr. Munu, yes, I will give that chance there for letting you ask a the president of SLAG prepare. Mr. Munu, hang on. Mr. Munu.
Prince, let me tell you what I know they entertain.
What you don't entertain? Hold on, Mr. Nasralla. Mr. Munu, will you allow me to umpire this match, please?
No, I will. Yes, so it's fine for me to let Ahmed knows I'm going to continue to be civil to a certain extent. If you want to engage Saka, I'm going to be very friendly with you, but to the truth. You understand? I can tell you, I can give you a guarantee that your organization has a code of conduct, a code of ethics. BBC has a code of conduct under Section 4. Just remember those two things. Now, when I talk about people of Sierra Leone,
Mr. Munu, Mr. Munu, are you going to cease fire? Just hold it right there and stop making this personal. I've already given you assurance, and luckily, Mr. Nasralla is willing to take these questions from you. Please allow me to do my work. Thank you very much.
I'm very sorry.
That's all right, sir. That's all right. That's all right. Mr. Nasralla, go ahead, sir.
Yes, and definitely we're going to be very civil. Definitely. So far, we have been very civil, and there's no way we are going to debate on that.
There's no way I will even tolerate that.
This is an opportunity for me to come out with some information, maybe to clear and try to convince you that we are doing the right things here. Yeah.
Thank you very much, sir. Yeah.
Okay, so he also talked about labeling people. It is the same thing they are doing to Umaru Fofana. That is the same thing they are doing. They are labeling him. The accusations are there. They say he's a card-carrying member of the SFPP. Where is the card? Where is the membership card?
Mr. Sahid.
You see, okay, let me just. I'm just mentioning those things to respond to.
During the late Barra, you can go back and check.
Yeah, Nasralla, hold on right there. I will allow cross talk. Yeah. Sorry, repeat that again, Sweet Bonita. What's the accusation there that you're leveling?
During the late Belera.
Yeah.
Let him go and check.
The late what?
You can see that, yes, he has. But that's not my complaint. That is not my issue. It is his right to belong to any political party.
Okay, Sweet Bonita, hold on right. Sweet Bonita, hold on right there. Yeah, Mr. Nasralla, did you get that? She was saying that during the late Berewa, which is not, I don't think it's relevant in this conversation.
Yeah,
but since we want to answer each other, we want to answer. Yes, sir.
Okay, so that carry on.
Mr. Nasralla, get the floor for now, please. So, Mr. Munu and Sweet Bonita, please cease fire. Nasralla, go on, please.
Yes, you talk about independence. The journalists for be independent.
Yeah.
If I don't say every media house get a policy, you get the editorial policy, but I need to follow. In this case, Umaru Fofana, BBC they report for. You will also for yourself they report for. Report for an institution as credible and as well established as BBC. So if Umaru gets any flaws by reporting, definitely the BBC and enforce they pick them up and take issue with them. That is very clear. Now BBC is a big institution. No. So if they attack Umaru now, attack the BBC as well. The BBC will attack. Because now then the publisher, and then the broadcaster. So if there's any issue when they get there when I one side, definitely they will raise them and this is an issue. And go Umaru to account and go on to be responsible. So definitely, I don't want to delve into this issue of Umaru for whatever. We defend them, defend them on the attack where they attack them. Not the first than this. You don't complain to me several times before now. You don't show me audios them within the threatening life. And the people who they threaten, they say we're not APC. You did the audio, you get the audio them. And you don't tell you one over, but we'll not be able to pull press release for them. For defender, we say, well, Preso, it's not a normal thing. They always get for attack you. They always was you do the right thing. People get for talk, what they call. And the journalists, between they publish, not all manga for liquor. It's not possible. All they publish, all the journalists, not everything the BBC they publish, people they leco. It's not possible. And not everything where they happen at the world, the BBC they report. There are so many things that where they happen across the world and across the BBC they. What they report, what they report and say. When you go feel say on your own judgment, if you say, let's say this is a great, this is an important thing. They're supposed to be important now. But not important now. You don't go ask BBC why it's not important now.
So, Mr. Nasralla, my own question to you is, you seem for the strongly in defense of a colleague, which is not strange. Let's be honest.
Yes.
But the idea
on the principles.
Yeah, on the principles, and on the principles now I want to talk about because again, I tell you.
Yes.
Yeah, go on, please.
Yes. I don't get issue with I don't get issue with Concerned Sierra Leoneans say they say Umaru in reporting bias. That is their opinion. That is their opinion. I don't get issue with that one day. Because me, I think I say Umaru bias by reporting the first person for no and the first person for no na the BBC and they will take action for that one day. some legal issues. But this thing don't continue for some while, and it don't come to an extent now where we will see the try for bring account down, and not only that, they only try back for threatening life and in family. So definitely, as a member of SLAJ, we have a responsibility for protect them and for seeking interest, and also a past president. There is no way we cannot defend him. Definitely, I will not say now somebody will get a track record of integrity and professionalism to the highest degree. So there is no way we go for doubter, say in reporting bias or in the take sides or in our SAPP. No.
So just before I go on, to Concerned Sierra Leoneans and Sister Bahinga, so you are absolutely backing Mr. Fofana. You not see no fault in him, and you're just backing him, outrightly.
In this particular case, as I say, another issue with the opinion of Concerned Sierra Leoneans, say Umaru bias in the reporting. That is what they believe.
Yeah.
But for go to the extent and go demonstrate before BBC House, Bush House, and also threatening life with audios and threatening them. So
take away, Mr. Nasralla. Let's agree that the threatening of life did, take place, which we vehemently condemn. And we on this platform we condemn
yes,
outrightly. There's no, that's what I'm saying publicly now. There is no way that we will entertain that. But let's take, when you keep repeating he's our brother Sierra Leonean, for me professionally, we need to take the emotionality away. Not because he's our brother, we have to be professional in some respect. And I'm not throwing brother Umaru under the bus. We stand with him. But then as a human, it's not like he's 100%, perfect. He must have his flaws, his frailties, and etc.
Everybody has.
Yeah, and everybody has. But I thought this is what we are speaking to today. But you seem, brother Nasralla, like whatever the case, and that's what you're saying. He's our brother and what have you. We can't go to the BBC House and demonstrate against him. That's so wrong. Even if you might wrong us, but somehow we can talk about this on the inside. We can't do that. And this is what I'm picking up, from this conversation. And I want this conversation to be like very, very open, because in my view, yes, sir, we all do have our biases. And when we talk about independence, and this was the thing I was trying to talk about, the reason why they said this,
and not everybody will like what you do. Not everybody will like what you publish. Definitely, as a journalist, definitely, we come across every day in our lives. Definitely.
Absolutely, sir. But
before we publish things, people will go to our page and then condemn us. This is wrong. Why are you publishing this one? There's something like this. But that is their opinion. You cannot change them. You cannot try to convince them and
you're absolutely right. So I will go back to Mr. Munu. And I'm just on the basis of the principles, of journalism, the independence and the impartiality, especially for the institution that Mr. Fofana does report from. Let's take the stardust away, because I understand the psychological end, of our people, of we, the Sierra Leoneans. Simply because you're up there and you report for this, or you are the president of that, and what have you, it's on that basis that you're judged, not on the ethics and the principle. But the ethics and principles does stand. So I can't just give you a pass or walk in the park, as they will call it, simply because, like Sweet Bonita was saying, I consulted with him, and the way how she put it, I'm not sure about that, but it was almost like dismissive, which made somebody in the chat room ask, when did Sweet Bonita contacted Umaru? When did she get that response? But let's go back again, Bamunu. This one is going to you. There are issues, of independence in which a reporter has to ensure that there is an independence to a larger degree of what they're reporting on, because there's also an understanding that they have to look for the other side of the story, because a story comes out, is one story when it comes out, but there are sides to the story. And those sides is what the reporter is meant to investigate and bring other opinions into that story, so that story becomes complete. Is this what you have an issue with? That in the reporting of Mr. Fofana, the sides are not complete and the opinions are not all weighed into a report?
Before I answer that, let me just share with the panel and the people who are listening and the people of Sierra Leone. First and foremost, Ahmed, when we made our complaint, we made a complaint against the BBC, Umaru Fofana, and Hassan Aruni. These three aspects. You haven't sent the complaint yet. You understand? Okay? Because the matter is sub judice, but that's what we complain about. That's one. Two, one thing we also want to share with the people of Sierra Leone and everybody listening, we are taxpayers. We have every right to demonstrate, because the institutions here, they are not like the institution, unfortunately, like in Sierra Leone. You understand? If you make a complaint, there are rules that you got to follow. If you don't follow them, that's why we resort to the demonstration.
Yeah, well, Mr. Munu, this is where the problem is.
No, I'm coming. No, let me just, no, please.
But the
let me just finish, please.
I'm still going to yield. I'm still going to yield the floor to you. I'm just
I understand, because I just started something I wanted to correct. Then the next thing I want to share, we Concerned Sierra Leoneans have never threatened Umaru Fofana or anybody else.
It might not be you, and I'm sure it's not you.
But the problem is, by attributing it directly or by implication, that's
on
not
this
right.
program.
Okay,
I agree with that.
Well, you see, if you allow me, I think I need to buttress my concern. I'm going to answer your question.
Mr. Munu, I did not ask you a question. I'm saying I do agree with what you are espousing, the view that you are espousing now. You need to listen, sir. I do agree, because the idea is he is saying it on this program, and it's like he's pointing fingers at you, and you're clarifying that you haven't in any way, shape, or form your organization threatened Mr. Fofana. That's what
correct.
I'm saying.
That's
correct.
Exactly,
but you're not listening, sir.
All right, fine. The last 2 points I want to raise, BBC impartiality and the trust. It's very, very important. You understand? Now, I don't want to go into the nitty-gritties about it, because I'm not a journalist. But believe you me, Mr. Ahmed, I've been an activist for a very long time. I know a lot of things that I'm not even qualified to talk about, but I'm well versed with. Now, the issue we are very concerned about Umaru Fofana is this. And I gave you the example about Paremba Road. That's a very good example I just gave you. That when he made the report, he made the report of 3 people. And what he did also, which was wrong, he should have named the government ministers and the politicians who are involved, who actually attended Paremba Road. He should have done that. He did not do it. That's very, very critical. And you see, despite the part of the matter is sub judice, we don't want to go into detail because we've got evidence which we're going to produce. You understand? Then 2, I raised the issue also of a Khadija. He did not even mention about that. He did not even report about it. You understand? So these are the 2 evidences I'm just giving you. The third one I can also give, Ibrahim Conte, which we have evidence of an audio where this guy was being tortured.
Hello?
And the guy who was commenting was actually naming names, people who are present
you
there.
You want to make a contribution to the live program?
No.
Oh, okay, I'm live. I thought you wanted to make a contribution. I'll call you back later.
What is the topic about?
Oh, come on, Castella. I expect you to know better of this. It's about Umaru. No, about Umaru. Okay, no. Left the side conversation. Let's just brief you quickly because we get guests there. It's about Umaru Fofana, the reporting, and we get the slides. We get the slides president. You should have known this before you called.
Okay. You give me the hitch up. I want a quick question.
Okay, so hold on. Okay, Mr. Munu, I'm very sorry, sir. We just get the call away, Sime.
Yeah, I understand. Let me just, I want to remind those who are listening. And,
okay, hold on, Kasala Kitchen. Hold on,
you understand? Because
so you stay right there.
I have just given 3 examples, which we are going to provide evidence to support. There are more, you understand? And therefore, it's very important that Umaru Fofana, I'm not going to accuse him he's a member of this, a member of that. I'm not going to do that. But what I'm going to accuse him, you understand? We're going to accuse him for his biasness, because what a lot of people don't realize.
Daphne, I will put you on hold. I'll get another caller where they call right now, but I definitely give you a chance. No, I give you a chance. Not that they say, you just hold on right there. I'll answer this guy. This is not Umaru in, yeah, hold on. But I'm going to hold on right there. Hold your thoughts right there.
I will.
Okay. Caller, I sure say you're watching the program and you want to make a contribution. And if you do, if you can just please identify yourself and where you're calling from, please. In the United Kingdom, I suppose.
Exactly.
Yeah, you want to make a contribution? Fire away, please.
Okay. Yeah, but I don't listen to the person when they say in a human rights activist trying to, talk about, say, Umaru Fofana report this and that. One thing some people are obsessed, like with so many things, where now the right for protest, now what they need to know how the media they operate, how international media they operate. Umaru na a reporter, right? Not when they dictate what's in the air na BBC or not.
Yeah.
Like any other reporter or any other news organization, they get what they call gatekeepers. You they do your reports, the episode then you watch, they watch yourself, then hear about. And what's important in journalism, you report like both sides. Like Umaru, you don't miss a pass, he reports everything. Certain thing and the incident, most of the incident, the way they allege, Umaru reports them. If you don't report in person, it will make the connection back later interview certain people. They not to always go reports, like give a direct report. BBC can call, it can facilitate for the BBC interview, for example, an opposition leader or something, or key people that were involved in the incident or whatever happened. So, but for like people and just, where they know, well, I know they say they not get a clue about how journalism they operate, how waiting and news. They not even, some people not even know waiting and news or news values, how they select news, especially like the Western media, waiting and news for Salon. Not can be news for England or others. We all there, we know how the Western media, how they cover Africa. We know that.
So caller, sorry for that interject, just for the benefit of time. So I want for that we refocus on waiting and then campaign about. Is it newsworthy? Has he got credence? Has he got credibility in terms of waiting in the protest about? We know not to all thing of value between England and Sierra Leone in terms of the news reporting, where the stringer Mr. Umaru Fofana supposed to do. But in terms of what they are talking about, is it newsworthy? Do they have a case?
To me, they not get a case. These people are just people that way don't. I don't know. I get respect for them because, of course, na democracy. All man get right for protest. All man get right for air in views and everything. But like what they say, then they misprioritize the what you say. Now we know whose side they belong. We know they are angry, but like then they misdirect them anger. Then they target the wrong person. It just they expose their understanding, the lack of understanding about journalism.
So I'm tempted to ask you as the umpire, just for the benefit of the viewing public. We know, and I'm quoting you verbatim, we know whose side them belong. How do you know?
Most of them, they are members of the opposition. Most of them.
So
they are either members or sympathizers.
So either the idea that you use the word either. And in fact, let me give that to you. Say yes, there are members of the opposition, but they've come out as some concerned citizens of the country and they've tabled a case. Are you saying that the case not get merit? Is that what you're saying? Because yeah, we can, or almost everybody, you kind of have some affiliation with some organization and etc. But let me look at the merits of the case. Mr. John, is that what you're saying, that the case not get merit at all?
It not get merit because what they try to expose the lack of understanding of how the media they operate or how journalists they operate. Well, let me establish one fact.
Please do.
there is no objectivity in journalism. That one will establish them. That if you read about you read the people that will don't write books about journalism, then they tell you say it's very difficult for the objectivity.
So okay. Hold your thoughts 1 minute, please, because you're talking something very important. Because I do agree with you, but there are expectations of objectivity.
No,
but does it exist?
If you can allow me for land, let me just.
Okay. Sorry. Go on, please. Sorry.
Like in journalism, you would try for be objective and for leaders you be an objective person. You don't understand?
We are all the people that will try for call on a hold the line. I will give everybody chance for calling. Yeah, please. Yeah, go on, please, caller.
Yeah. So that is why they try for tell you say you need to be balanced. Even you the report, so tell you get weight and get what they call framing and priming. You get how you did do, right? But you make sure all the incident the way they talk about. Umaru don't either facilitate the interview the BBC directly interview the people the way involved or INSSF do the report. But what thing I don't see is people the way know about journalism. Now they can sit down and say, no, if I don't talk and so if I don't report and this way. You understand? When they don't get a clue of the thing when they talk.
So they don't have a right to their view. Doesn't the Constitution provide them some kind of degree of right? But you sound very livid, my friend, in dismissing them. You know, you're like, they don't know what they're talking about. They might not know what they're talking about because that's not their profession, just like you they say. But inside their own domain, they do have a right, you know, here for express their own opinion as they see it.
Did I say they don't have the right to express themselves?
No, you were talking about journalism and saying.
So don't put word into my mouth.
Mr. John.
They have the right to express themselves. I established that one. I said that before.
Okay.
You know, but what you mean the try for say as a person, whether a media person, we know about media, we know about how journalism, we know what they call news values. We know about that. Now make I tell you say like they know this like they talk about what they know. You see also this you see also in the sense say no matter for don't report this way, no like this way for don't go then get right to their opinion. But like
exactly, not me say the right because of the way
of understanding about how especially international media and what's the difference between international media and national and local media.
So okay, Mr. John, I think you get a point there. But I'll ask you one question before you go away. So how are these people, you know, you're really wrong in terms of what you just espoused just now? How are they wrong? They could be wrong, but would they agree say they don't understand media, but they get their opinion and then right to their opinion? How do you find, you know, a common ground in the middle? Who is right, who is wrong? Because it seems like that's the way you're going. I just don't get it, please.
No, well, at the one first, I don't tell you say they get right to their opinion.
So what's the issue then? What's the issue, Mr. John?
But saying like just for Cassido, it dictate like more or less dictating. No, now Umaru for don't talk about this here.
You sound really personal, Mr. John. Even the nuance, in your voice, your intonation, it's as simple as that. You might deny that, but if you listen,
maybe you are misinterpreting my.
Yeah, it's possible, Mr. John. It's possible that they misinterpret you, but let we left this to the adjudication of the public, and probably when we listen later, we reflect, we inflect, and maybe we could get this, you know, the way all this here. You sound spiked, my friend. You sound really spiked. I mean it.
No, well, okay, well, what about you say some other people then go accuse you say you bias.
Well, I'm not denying that. I do agree with you. You are implying and insinuating, and I agree because everybody get their own sides, you know, yeah, Mr. John. That's what I'm saying. So
the same right way they get for go protest and what he said, but me they tell you say, I tell you say one thing like okay for dictate, it's like because the whole thing is about then they try for dictate what Umaru. No, Umaru not for if I don't say this, you not say this. Umaru, this is the man now one of the finest journalists in Africa. You understand? Now, one of the finest journalists in Africa. Nobody, you go hate him, but you can't take that one away from him. You understand? So, it's really sad. Like, okay, if you know about something, like, well, you just, you try for bring other person down because of,
but this is the thing. Isn't this the thing? Like you conclude with you try for bring some other person down instead of looking at the substance of what is being tabled. I mean, let's be professional. Let's keep it professional. Take the emotionality away. I mean, this is not going to go down with many people, from the end where they come up from. But I do have the justifications because, like I ask you, it's not about emotions. Mr. Fofana is one of the finest, just like you say, and the people that really protest against him, they've attested to that. But they're saying at this point in time, these are the issues that they have got. Shall we discuss these issues, as merited, as part of the discussion, and stop being emotional?
No, I don't know what you mean emotional, because
no, but that's how again you sound is one of the finest. So
maybe I might be talking maybe you don't want to hear, maybe you don't want to misinterpret saying I'm emotional, but I'm not emotional.
Okay, I might be wrong with my assumption, Mr. John, and I'm sorry. So like you the floor finally, just wrap up. Yeah. And by the way, Fambulem, una way they listen, the man where they talk is a member of this platform, a strong supporter of this platform. This is the kind of level with it.
Supporter of the platform, now one of
the founders of this platform, an owner, a stakeholder on this platform. But this is the justification of impartiality at the highest level in which we can disagree for agree. I mean, just want to let you know that. So go on, Mr. John, please.
Yeah, what again you say?
Oh no, I mean just want to let you conclude, because I want to move on. I get a few people the way they call, but as a stakeholder, I just give you an extra time, for let you have a conversation.
So they try to say, okay, one, like at the repeat back, they get right for protest, right? Or me, what you make again, but what me know say certain people within the opposition, they get issue with Umaru all the time. For some reason, I don't know. But even I tell you back, like I recall 2012, where an Escoroma win in second term. Umaru Fofana, they not allow him to go inside State House to say an Escoroma bill is sworn in. I was there. They blocked a year back. Some people, Umaru, they enter and they block him. So for some reason, they get issue with him. But
so just a quick one down and the back now. Hearsay. You need for confirm.
I was there.
No, but you said I say. You just said it yourself. You just said it yourself.
Listen. Let me come, please. Are they inside a crowd? People they near the door, where they lock the door for the man, they say,